What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so we're now just 12 days away from Election Day. And despite what seems like the entire establishment is against Donald Trump, I mean, all the heavy hitters are coming out now. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, Spike Lee, uh, Beyonce, Lizzo, Usher, Republicans, uh, former Republicans that they supposedly Democrats hated and loathed and called war criminals, John Bolton and Lynn Cheney, Dick Cheney. Remember back in the day, Keith Olbermann used to call him the worst person in the world all the time on his show on MSNBC. Now he's a Kamala supporter. A whole bunch of other former Republicans. The mayor of what? What's that city in Wisconsin? Waukesha. The mayor of Waukesha has come out and endorsed Kamala Harris. I mean, CNN, MSNBC, social media compensated creators who are Democratic shields, all of the usual suspects, the comedians and actors, all these people are coming out and now they're going full throttle, reminding everybody that Trump is a fascist. He's dangerous. Project 225. Oh, we can't get Trump in there. They're doing everything. They're going hard to paint because they see the numbers, They see the internal polling and they're panicking. While they continue to insist that Kamala has this in the bag, there's a reason why with less than 2 weeks ago, they're going so hard in the paint. And that's because they are scared shitless right now. Because at this same time, 4 years ago, Joe Biden was leading by generally a 4 to 10 point margin in the polls. Whereas Kamala's once semi-comfortable 3-4 point lead has evaporated. Remember when I was making videos talking about how the Republicans was fucking up? Ever since Trump had got, nearly, taken out here, it's like something just went wrong, whatever. But ever since J.D. Vance's debate performance, there's been a stabilization. I guess remember people really didn't know too much about J.D. Vance, and all the other stuff that was out there. I did videos about it. People always claim I'm a secret Trump supporter, but I was the only one talking about J.D. Vance and his weird cross-dressing ways and his women-hating comments in the past, right? But for whatever reason, he went out there in that debate. I said on my channel, I said, look, J.D. Vance may be a weirdo in a lot of ways, but he's a really good debater. I never knew Tim Walz to be known as a good debater, and for the most part, he kicked his ass in that debate. Ever since then, that plus the combination of, I believe, Kamala embracing the endorsement of these Republicans who have been long loathed by rank and file Democrats, and her complete and utter ineptitude when it comes to nailing a simple softball interview and debate. How the fuck do you lose a debate where you are the only participant? She's horrible. But we know they're panicking. We caught Joe Biden and Barack Obama, being seen on camera talking about Kamala at the funeral of Ethel Kennedy. Biden said, I'm stronger than her. She's not strong. And and Barack was pretty much agreeing yeah, she's not, we can still win this. So now you got everybody out there, everybody trying to go hard in the paint and make Donald Trump to be the very reincarnation of Adolf Schicklgruber. You got Hillary Clinton, who should have known better to engage in this BS, but she's being a good team player. Remember, she angered so many voters last time by calling them a bunch of deplorables. But here she go talking about Trump's going to hold a rally in Madison Square Garden. That's going to be basically a reenactment of a neo-Nazi rally in Madison Square Garden, 1939 or something like that. You got Spike Lee going around shaming black men again, co-signing what Barack Obama said. Black men need to be held accountable and stand up for this sister, this woman who won't even call herself a sister. And the Diddy angle I'm going with here is now all of a sudden you have people talking about some tape, some magical tape that's out there supposedly that shows Donald Trump doing the unthinkable. I believe that 9 times out of 10, there is no tape. This is just a smear campaign to get people to back away from supporting him. Just the same way how the feds, in coercing with the media, scare people from even seem like they want to even defend Diddy because there's all these tapes they keep talking about. Supposedly he's doing the unthinkable. So it makes you feel uneasy to even be a skeptic when it comes to the feds and how they're pursuing this case, right? By the way, isn't there something wrong? I said before, isn't there something kind of weird where a guy who allegedly, what was it? I think Trump was in Southern California at a rally, and supposedly a guy was coming, or at least he was en route to the rally, and he was stopped and was found all of this fake tickets, fake IDs or press IDs or something, a gang load of goddamn guns and ammo. And supposedly they thought that this guy was going to try to take out Trump. And he'd get released on $5,000 bail. Meanwhile, Diddy can't get released even when promising $50 million in collateral. There's something wrong there, man. But yeah, that's what they're doing now. So now they're trying to say, oh, this guy, he did this. There's this model that came out now. Some washed up model says that, oh, Trump did this to me in 1993. Another case where somebody was claiming that they got, something done to them 31 years ago. Now it takes them this time, just when we head into the election, some October surprise, to try to sway people from voting for Trump or prevent them from voting for him. Because my thing is, you say that you were walking with Epstein. My question is, why were you with Epstein? We know what he was about. We know what he was. So my thing is, why were you with him? What I tend to think is that you did have an encounter with perhaps Trump. I think it was consensual. I've read that this woman is a huge Democratic supporter. She was a huge Barack Obama supporter. I think this is politically motivated. At the end of the day, I do think Trump did a lot of shit. I think he's done a lot of things. I'm talking about my Patreon, what I think he's guilty of, right? But at the end of the day, I don't believe this. I think this is a desperate Diddy campaign because they see her fading and fumbling and bumbling all over the place. So they're trying to go extra hard in the paint and throw out as much as they can to convince as many people that he's going to be some, dictator. When in reality, the Democrats don't have a pot to piss in and want to throw it out when it comes to accusing anybody of being a dictator. The Biden administration, didn't they lead the way as far as making citizens take something that they didn't want to take or have to take? If you refuse to take this thing, oftentimes you run the risk of losing your job, or you couldn't be hired, or depending on what field you worked in, or you were fined. You know, at the end of the day, they don't have like I said, they don't have any authenticity or credibility when it comes to that. But interesting though, American citizens had to take this substance, right? The jab, but members of Congress didn't. Members of Biden cabinet didn't have to take it. Why? Why did we have to take it, but you didn't? And subsequently, by the way, ever since then, I'm not a scientist. I don't have, degrees in, medical field or anything like that. But it does seem like an inordinate amount of young people have since then developed problems cardiovascularly that usually only start when you're in middle and older age. Also, you can't sit there and talk about democracy when you have a president who was democratically selected through the primary process only to push him out the way when you didn't like his debate performance. You forced him out and then put in place somebody that you really didn't want there in Kamala, but you were forced to put it there because you didn't have anybody else. You didn't have a contingency plan just in case Biden wasn't ready to go, which, by the way, me and others have called out for years that this guy was declining. Remember, I was doing videos back in 2019 telling you something was wrong with Biden. Oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about. You just stick to basketball, nigga. You don't know what you're talking about, Negro. I just think that it's pathetic at this point. It's pathetic. And I think most people see it. They don't respect her as a candidate. Now, some people are obviously going to vote for her because some people just have this belief that, she's the better alternative. Or, you got some that's going to vote for her because they are a black woman or whatever, and they're just going to vote for her because it's going to make her feel better. Look, that shit don't work on me no more. I've already had my hope and change period with Barack Obama, and ain't shit happened that benefited black people. Nothing. Everybody else in the Democratic coalition got something, but not us. So if Barack Obama want to talk about the excitement ain't there no more because we figured out for years now that you were a fraud. Fool me once, shame on you. You won't fool me a second time, motherfucker. Hell to the no. You won't fool me again. So, me personally, I suggest people either sit this one out or vote third party. I know Philip Scott, African Diaspora, says, shit, vote for everybody but blue. I understand where he's coming from with that. But at the end of the day, yeah, this is desperate. It's desperate, and they're just trying to smear this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Diddy is not innocent of a lot of shit, man. I just don't think he's done everything that they claim that he's done. But they muddied the water so much that you're afraid to even say anything, because if you say anything about how the media has smeared him before he gets a fair trial, you get labeled all these horrible things. So they're doing that with Trump, so that they're trying to make him so toxic that people be afraid to say they want to vote for him or they want to support him. And that, my friends, is the antithesis of a democracy. So fuck the Democrats and fuck the liberal media.